There we go, man. This is the week. I feel like the tension building. What is up? Luke Darnell in the building. How we doing, dog? What's going on, man? We are live. We are live. I feel like nobody really wants to talk about the sunglasses, that's for sure. Everybody just wants to talk about AOI. We're going to get to it, man. But excited to have you in the channel. Again, we're just going to be vibing out on what seems to be a Tuesday evening stream, okay? Now, yes, there's a lot of anticipation about this. I feel like Supreme has been dragging their feet on for too long. Way too long. And we're here now. We are here. You haven't even seen the sunglasses yet? Oh, so you'll wait to hear my take on them? Yeah, we'll get to them. I feel like I kind of want to touch on the sunglasses after talking about AOI, but you know what? Maybe we'll just touch on them before, like, as people are starting to trickle into the building. Again, I know there's a lot of anticipation. This jacket's going to be really tough to touch, for sure, okay? But considering the economy, considering the fact a lot of people have spent a lot of their hard-earned money already on everything else, all the other heat that's dropped, think about it. What have we had? We've had the bandana jacket. You know what? I got my little trusty poster notebook over here. So we're just going to scroll through. So this is the Supreme Spring and Summer 2025. I can't believe that we're nearing the end of spring, summer. Kind of crazy. And then I think what's really crazy is the fact that they've given us some like winter jackets. All right. And I'm talking about like the bandana jacket, for example. But okay. So they did give us this. That was a given. I believe that sat. I don't believe that really did well in the aftermarket. They also did this one as well. The Damien Hirst stuff. This one, honestly, if I had to choose between the Shark and the first one, I think the Shark was a little bit better. And then they gave us this weird, almost like a straight jacket, you know? I don't know. I'm really not a fan of like the buckles on this. And then anybody that knows me knows I absolutely love neon colors. We had to get this jacket. So we swooped up this jacket early in the season. It was the first jacket I picked up in this season. We had to get it. We did not go for the pants, just the jacket. And you know what's crazy about this jacket? Kendrick Lamar wore this jacket, okay? I don't know if you know that. But what I like about this jacket a lot, I got a lot of Vault stuff. I'm just a fan of Vault, so we did end up getting this jacket early in the season. I believe this jacket will look really well with, some people think that wearing too much Vault stuff or neon yellow stuff, neon green, whatever you want to call it, is a little much. But I think if it's put together correctly with the right pieces, so let's say Air Jordan 1 Visionaire, that nice pop in yellow with this jacket, I think is definitely a really good move. What's up, Real Gaming? How you doing? Yeah, so this jacket definitely is. It's just a bold move, okay? And the fact that they did it with camo, very, very tasteful. So this was the first jacket we picked up this season. It was hard to say no to this one specifically, mainly because I can see a lot of fits that I want to put together with this specifically. And especially the fact that it's like anything Vault just looks really good around summertime. So yes, that was the first one, okay? Anyway, moving along on what else we got over here. You know, they're only really going to put the banger pieces, right? Now this one was definitely a miss, I think, mainly because of the fact there's just too much shit going on, if I'm being real. Just look at that. It's crazy. Now the front of it, just, they should actually put over here, they should put a WTF. They should have just put a WTF because this whole jacket is just like, it's just overkill. It's just overkill with the patches. Hey, great work, but at the same time, I just feel like this was overkill. This did sell out, obviously, this color, and specifically, I just don't think that it's doing anything on the aftermarket, okay? Now, this, I will argue, is also one of the best jackets that they have released, the applique jacket. They also did this in two hoodies, a black and a red one. The red flew, and that one is really nice. But out of the colors that they did in this one, they did a black and they did a purple. The purple was definitely the move because you have kind of like, if you look over here, look at that like vintage look. It looks so freaking good. And then the back, just such a crazy hit. So Obviously, this did end up selling out in store and then online as well. These pretty much flew, especially in the larger sizes. But this is definitely a piece that dropped this season that I would say would have been very tasteful of them to have released this one in fall winter, for sure, for sure. Just mainly because of the fact that it's just like it's spring summer right now. But the gems on this here, the gem hits on this go crazy. They just absolutely go crazy. So we got Kevin Hawthorne in the building. Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah, no, this one's really good. But again, definitely out of my price range. I'm not gonna lie. So the hoodie is probably was I guess more within the price range, especially that red one. That red one's really nice. Now, okay, some people are saying, oh, the star of the show is the AOI jacket. Now, clearly it is, but when they released the SpongeBob jacket, that really had a lot of attention, okay? Because not only having Supreme fanatics go after this jacket, you're having also people who are, SpongeBob fanatics as well, all right? Now, yes, the SpongeBob jacket was definitely the move. Now, because it came out in the lookbook, the lookbook, in this colorway, this was the one a lot of people wanted. However, once we got to see a taste of the black one, I believe black's even doing better on the market, and that was the move. Okay, so if you did hit this SpongeBob one, they flew on the site, but they were attainable. Okay, and that's what I want to mention today. Okay, as we get to the AOI jacket. Okay, a lot of people I guess didn't realize that some of these things were touchable online because Supreme is a very heavily botted website. Okay, especially as it gets closer to time. More and more traction. They put us in a queue, and then you sometimes just see your item sell out, which we don't want that to happen this Thursday. Okay, so I'll say a little prayer in advance for all you guys watching that you get to leave checkout with whatever the hell you wanted. Hopefully, okay. But I'm looking at the entire season in a whole, and I'm just like, man, this was a really good season. Most seasons I look at them and I'm like, yeah, maybe I see 4 pieces, and then out of the 4 pieces, on top of that, they drop some collabs, and then the collabs are where they get us. You know what I mean? There's been some talks of a second Louis Vuitton collab with Supreme. We don't know if we're ever gonna get that, okay? But with Pharrell in charge now as Supreme men's, I can see that happening. I'm just gonna say that, okay? There's been some talks. I just don't believe it's gonna happen this year. If it does happen this year, obviously it's going to be fall winter without a doubt. The likelihood that they're going to do something spring summer, I think is I think it's too early. So most likely we'll get something either in the fall or next year. Again, nothing in. There's just been some talks. I've heard some whispers. Is what I'm trying to say. Thaddeus says, I'm so excited for the work shirt in green. Yeah, you know what? That's another piece that, we're going to get to that, okay? We're going to get to that, but I just want to kind of finish over here as we're getting more people in the stream, okay? And we already got some viewers. I know you guys are excited for this drop, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest. This drop, it's really hype, but I also feel like it's lacking. I mean, it doesn't seem like the biggest week in terms of items. You know how they open the season with a bang? We get so many freaking items. We get so many items to the point that in the first week, they don't even do a second drop until week 3. That's typically how they do it, because they release so many items. They release the bags, they release everything. Just craziness in the first week, which is why even in store, it's there's no second drop. You kind of have to wait for, I guess week 2 is really week 3. That's kind of how they've always done it. Anyway, we're going to keep it moving. I really do like this kind of peacock-like jacket. I did see it in store. I did get to, touch it. It's like fox fur and what have you. It's really nice, but I think it looks better than actually owning it or having it. It looks better from afar. There's certain pieces that are just nice to look at. But when you're wearing it, it's you feel good, but you're not looking at it. You're looking at it from a first-person view, which sometimes I think is very interesting. You know what I mean? Let's say you hit on the AOI jacket. You're not going to see that back piece, but everybody else is, and they're going to know you have that jacket. It just makes us feel a certain way, and this is why we're interested in this stuff, right? Anyway, moving along. Ooh, wow, they actually gave us a blank page. Okay, so these are a couple more, and again, I know you've seen this stuff. We're just going through this as we wait for more people to come into You know, the building. I did drop a new sneaker video. Literally, like I launched it like 3 hours ago. Just quick. What was that? 3 take shootout, and out it goes. But those Yachties, oh man, those Yachties are awesome. And we keep it moving over here. You guys know, I'm just gonna say I'm really not a fan of anything like leather with a button. It's just I'm not a fan of that. I don't know why they gave us a blank page over here. Like what's happening over here? Like do I bring my crayons and color over here? They gave us this too. Very very expensive. What I do like about this is this hoodie. I'm kind of regretting kicking myself not getting this hoodie. This hoodie has Supreme on the side. This is such a nice hoodie. We ended up swooping up the cap that you know. But the thing is, what's nice about that hoodie is like the entire hood is all embroidered, has all the S patches all over it, and then the entire hoodie is just plain. And I don't know, there's something about that. You could wear a really nice jacket and just have this, and it's just like a chef's kiss. You know what I mean? Like you just have it hanging out with all the crazy embroidery. This was one of the best hoodies that they dropped this season. I am going to say that. And especially in this colorway specifically. So I don't believe, I think they did eventually sell out online, but it was sitting on store for probably like 2 weeks. Supreme Flavor in the building. What's going on? Okay, wait, let me read your whole name. Supreme Flavor Generic Sauce Boy. I love it. Wouldn't be surprised if 1 week left. There's like 4 items left to drop. So T week next week, and then season over. Yeah, I mean, another thing I want to mention too is there's also that like Pure New York. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy that did it, but we can touch on like what's left as well on the stream. Smash that like button while you're at it, guys. Appreciate all you all rocking with us in the building. Definitely opens up the algo to other people. Okay, Luke Darnell says facts, bro. Not much else going on this week. Yeah, no, I'm just being real. It's like we got the pinup chick, really really nice, especially in that green. I actually recommend people not go for the pink. It's just something's amiss with the pink. The best pink item was that first jersey that came out. That Panther Jewel hockey jersey, hands down was the best. But I think this one is definitely a miss on the pink one specifically. But keeping it moving, okay. I know you guys want to talk about it. We're gonna get to the jacket. It's literally right smack here. We're almost there. That's the back piece. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Look at all that craziness. This was such a sleeper item. My gosh. In this colorway, such a sleeper item. Too expensive. This is for the Kith boys in the building, for anybody who can easily drop like $1 to $2 grand on a freaking jacket. And then yes, as you know, this was 2 weeks ago with the Vanson. This was the premiere piece for the Vanson. Really nice because you do happen to have like just all that brown, like that brown just makes it pop. The black didn't do it justice. It was just too much contrast going on over there. How to get a physical copy of the lookbook. So they released this. This was mailed to me, not because I know people at Supreme. I don't know people at Supreme. I wish I did. I know people who work in the store, but I don't know. I don't got the hookup like some people. Anyway, to answer your question, where do you get this book? This book is mainly was shipped on the first week. First week they typically put something like this. I'm like trying to think, like, because I don't recall getting like a gift. Was the gift this season with like the sponge, or was that last season? I'm really like I don't know. I've been in the game so long, like, you know, for the past 5 years. I'm like, I don't even remember which gift came out, whatever. But this came in the first order. Okay, it was nice to receive something like this because, you know, I kind of want to just go in store and just be like, I'll have one of these, please. I really want to bring this in the store and be like, can I take your order? I'll be like, yes, this please. Ah, man, I'm killing myself here. I'm dying. Anyway, Sean Crawford. So that's probably going to happen next week, which some of those hats are really nice. Okay, so let me finish with the book, okay? As you know, this was probably the move on this. I know they also put this one out in like a red with white. The pants were the move for me on that. I really do like the white and the red pants that came out with the Umbro collab. It was very pricey. It was probably like $300 for pants, kind of expensive. But the reason why I think that was the move was, you guys remember that Ducati that Ducati top, the red and the it's like a faded gray or yeah, like a it was kind of like a muted out white. That Ducati top with those bottoms, I think is just really nice. Okay, Sponge was this season. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah. So hey, sup to everybody who is, I guess, new here or has been watching my channel or is, I guess, more on the Supreme side than the sneaker side. I mean, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to clothing and sneakers, like, I think it's easier to just do clothing than sneakers because sneakers, they're more bulkier. It's hard. Like, where are you going to store all this stuff? When it comes to clothing, it's like, you can get your, you can wear it. I mean, yes, we have a lot of clothing too, but I'm just saying, I just feel like the likelihood some of these pieces are going to be worn more is going to be a lot higher, like clothing wise versus sneaker wise. That's just me. That's just me thinking. All right. And I'm saying this in terms of like, I'd rather have more Supreme pieces or more clothing pieces than sneakers and have maybe like certain like 5 to 10 in circulation. Because honestly, like, can I ask a question to all you guys right now? What's a healthy amount for a guy to own sneaker wise? Like just honestly thinking. Because I watched something on Instagram this morning where the girl was like, any more than 10 and the dude's crazy. And here I am thinking like, okay, I guess I'm one of those crazy guys. But in my defense, I'm like, I run a YouTube channel. I kind of have to put out content. So, it kind of evens out to some extent. But all right. So we're all here for this piece, okay? Now, a lot of different things can happen on the site, okay? I'm just gonna be honest, guys. A lot of things can happen on the site for this jacket, okay? We have to remember there's a black version and there's the flame version. I know a lot of people are going to be going for the flame version, but what I do want to mention to you, I mean, alongside myself, I'd much prefer the flame over the black. But what I do want to mention to you is like the black, after some time, it will fade, right? And it will kind of have like this nice look to it. And then the patches pop significantly higher than this one, okay? And let's flip the page because, of course, they have to give us the back hit, right? They had to give us the back hit. Now, for the time that you own this jacket, hopefully you all hit them, right? For the time that you own this jacket, you will not be able to actually see every single patch because I think there might be some years that pass as you own this and you're going to be like, oh, I didn't even know it had that. And do you know that these tiers are reflective? I don't know if you guys know that. These tiers are actually reflective. They should have reflection on them. You might be wondering, how do you know that, Ernest? Go to AOI. Go to AOI's Instagram, and you can actually see. Let me actually like swap on in here real quick. All right, there we go. Let's go to AOI's Instagram real quick. And if we scroll down, just look at the stuff they do. It's so freaking insane. They do such crazy stuff that if you, let me double check. There's got to be some photo here, okay? Now, I wish I knew that they were dropping this stuff. I mean, I could totally see some, Japanese rock stars wearing stuff like this. Like, look at this. This was 57 weeks ago. My God. And you don't want to know what's really crazy about this? There you go. You see the reflection? This has reflective hits. It has to have reflective hits. So you might be wondering, $700 or whatever, $698, that's kind of a lot for a jacket. We're going to get reflectors on it, okay? Like, this is just insane, okay? Now, yes, we're not getting this jacket. We're getting, obviously, some really tasteful stuff over here. So let's just jump into it, all right? I keep a pair of black and white Vans Authentic in rotation, so too. Okay. Hey, I respect that. And you have the Remo Z Dunks? Nice. Yeah, there's a guy in line, okay? I'm not gonna name names, but there's one guy, he owns a shop and he's always at Supreme, okay? I asked him straight out, how many sneakers do you own? And he said 3. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. He was wearing lobsters, so lobsters. And then what was the other 2 pairs that he had? Remo Z, the one you just mentioned, is another pair that he has. And then I think he has like some other Vans or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. It's hard for me to just fathom that. Like, with the content I do and the amount of sneakers I own and all that, it's like, I can't imagine the sneakers. Just gonna be real, guys. Like, I don't want to come off as a anything that we do content. We also flip sneakers and stuff like that. But just to have 3 pairs of sneakers in rotation, I'm like, wow, hey, respect. I was like, wow, that like must feel relieving to like not have to think about all this other stuff. And then hey, when you need a new pair of sneakers, all right, just go get a pair of sneakers. You know what I mean? Once one's cooked. And mind you, this guy was skateboarding with his lobsters. Some people would be like, oh, I can't, my lobsters, I need to put like a special, what is it? The grip drip? I need to put the special grip drip on my on my sneakers, I don't want to be stepping on, I don't want to be stepping on stuff, right? Oh, I'm lagging? Man, okay, that's weird because I got a real fast computer. This shouldn't be the case. But yeah, am I going for black or flames? Flames, without a doubt. It's got to be the flames. Even though I know this is going to be really hard to touch. So anyway, let's bring it up. Okay, let's bring it up. Oh my God, I can't believe this is the week, I can't believe this is the week. Sorry, I don't mean to move too fast, okay? So this is the front. Obviously, you guys have seen this freaking so many times. I'm going to be honest. Supreme has been dangling this release over our heads like a cherry since day one. Since day one, everybody has been so on edge on this. And I want to let you guys know, yes, it's expensive. Okay, I know that. Okay. And yes, it's a work jacket. They release this work jacket every season. Okay. But not in this colorway. Okay. So when I first saw I mean, you can go back to the first time I reviewed like just the season in general. When I saw this, I was like, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a problem. I could talk your ears off about this, okay? But it's going to be a problem mainly because of the fact that they put so much work into this. And yes, this is going to be a grail piece, okay? It's a grail piece. I would go back into whatever I bought this season and sell that to get this. And I think that's kind of how we play. We play doing trades sometimes, It's like, all right, if I hit this, 3 jackets got to go. Or 5 sneakers got to go. And it's just a trade-off. You know what I mean? But until I know I have secured this, then I'm like, do I really need to sell that right now? It's kind of my thought process. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us, like, we kind of want to trade up. We want to trade up. So it's like, okay, if I hit the black one, sick. I'll sell it, cough up the dough, but I'm getting the flames. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's say, and I'll ask Luke, for example, if you have an option to go in store and they run out of the flame and they only have a black and large left, are you going to get it? Of course I'm going to get it, right? I would get it because then you could flip it, make a little bit of money. And again, I'm going to talk about resale in terms of what I think this is going to land. But again, 700 is kind of a lot, and then we're adding tax into it. I did the conversion rate. You're looking at anywhere from 740, 750 on the aftermarket. I mean, like retail. Retail ship to you. Mainly because there's no shipping, right? Because this is over the 250 threshold. So we got to factor in taxes, right? So depending on your state and what have you, we're looking at roughly about 750, right? That's a lot. But these are limited, okay? You want to know how I know that they're limited? I asked in store. They're limited. They're very limited. I do not think they're going to have a lot of these. It's confirmed. It is confirmed. I confirmed that today. Okay. Even if I wanted to buy this to flip, I couldn't justify it. Bought pinup chinos and Damien Hirst shirt the past 2 weeks, and that was a financial risk. Hey man, 100%. A lot of things are a financial risk these days. Sneakers, this stuff. But here's the thing: when you're going for stuff like this, it's like, I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to be going for this for the personal, but then there's going to be a good handful of people, maybe more than a handful of people that are going to flip because they know there's a lot of demand. They can make that easy bread right away. Easy $200 to $300 profit day of. I'm going to say it. Maybe even more. This jacket is going to potentially touch 1,000, I think, on the aftermarket. Don't forget taxes and selling too. It goes both ways. Yeah, no, 100%, man. 100%. And again, I know there's some resellers, they don't really announce any of that. They don't really do it full time. They do it a little bit here, a little bit there. Send me Venmo, whatever, and I'll mail you the jacket, whatever, and it's just kind of like under the table, right? But if you are selling on, that's another thing I do want to mention. We won't go down the rabbit hole on like talking about StockX and the fees and stuff, but yes, you got to attest, or you got to announce that your earnings and stuff like that. My guess, 5 of each, size and color. Most stock will be online, and it's going to be hard. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that you all are here and we're all talking about it, I mean, I'm just letting you guys know. I verified in store, and they just looked at me like I looked like a crazy person. They're just like, yeah, we don't have a lot, is all I'm going to say. So when I hear, oh, we don't have a lot, I'm thinking the Kermits, they didn't have a lot. They probably had anywhere from maybe 7 to 10. So I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking about 7 to 10 in store. Online's going to be different, obviously, because I mean, it's still going to be hard to hit online, but I think it's still worth trying. Let me explain why I think it's worth trying, okay? And we'll keep it moving over here to the black one. The reason why I think it's worth trying is because like I had no idea that a lot of us were going to be able to touch the bandana jersey. I mean, not the jersey, the bandana. What is it? The bandana hoodie. You know, the work bandana hoodie. I did not think a lot of people would touch it, especially in the blue. But my thought process that week was like, why don't I just try? Because bots have kind of like bots haven't been doing too well this season. I've signed up for at least a bot maybe 5 times this season. Nothing hit, nothing went through. And when I asked the bot provider, I was like, hey, and guys, mind you, I don't bot often, okay? But there were some pieces I was just like, I gotta protect this, you know. I gotta at least really try and have as many options. So the bot provider got back to me and he's like, hey man, there was just an issue. There was an issue like 10 minutes before the drop and we couldn't get it set up. So, you know, I'm just saying, because I really wish Supreme did registration, but I'm also kind of glad they didn't, because now it's kind of like a free-for-all for in-store. But with something like this, I do think that there's still a solid chance on online. If you know how to do your stuff, if you're going mobile, if you're going desktop, let it be known in the chat. Are you guys going mobile? Are you going desktop? Okay. I mean, Flame's the move. It's just the banger piece. Again, you're for me, I really wish there was a difference in price. Like, I feel like the black one, I know it's still crazy embroidery, but the black one should at least be, I don't know, 550, maybe 500, and then the flame one, because it's the more hyped one, that really should be 600. But you know, they're going to be taxing. AOI is going to be taxing. AOI needs to make their money. Supreme needs to make their bread. You know, also Supreme needs to pay for all these like brick and mortar stores that they're renting out of too. Okay, rent ain't cheap. I'm going to add that, but yeah, Supreme probably doesn't need all that money. Okay, like at least I don't think Luxottica does. But yeah, if I missed any of the comments, I'm going to get back to the comments real quick. Mobile, yeah, no, for sure. Facts, hype, love. Okay, but we're gonna go back. Okay, so obviously this is the premiere piece. I know we're kind of just jumping right into the you know, the meat of things. Okay, but let me go back. Let me just go back here. Let me X out of this. So very tasteful, the fact that they're doing this Yonex. These are gonna fly again, but this is not gonna fly as fast as this stuff's gonna fly. This too, okay. But let me jump into the hat, because some people are wondering if they should just go for the hat. They're like, I'm probably, you know, I don't got the bread right now for the jacket. Should I just go for the hat? Yeah, I'd go for the hat. There's definitely going to be some resale to be made on this. First day profits for sure. Obviously, the flame is more hyped than the regular one. But I mean, how can I say this is a regular? This is a crazy hat. This is like a hat on acid, okay? But the black one specifically, you could definitely see, let me just click into it. You could see the black, what is it? The patches and everything. It's not patches, the embroidery. You can see the embroidery a lot better. And look, even the hat has the reflective right here. This is all reflective. How crazy is that? I'm so excited for this. I'm just hyped. I haven't been this hyped on I mean, I'm hyped on a lot of the releases that Supreme does, but this is a very, very exciting release, okay? And again, it's a little underwhelming, the fact that they're only really giving us 2 things. They're giving us a jacket and a hat, and that's it. They're calling it a day. I like the fact that they are giving us more stuff this week, but definitely the flame is going to have a lot more resale potential than the black one, but I guarantee you not many of these were made for sure. Just not a lot were made, okay? We got to like that. I just got to up the vote there, okay? X out of this. But another item, okay, let's say you don't have the dough for this, but you do want to make some money. definitely this one in the green is going to fly. This one for sure, okay? And yes, they're doing it in this fuchsia color, but I think I mentioned it earlier in the stream that the fuchsia, I don't really know if fuchsia's the move, all right? Luke's saying desktop always now, right now. Oh, we are, wow, we're lagging. Why are we lagging? Okay, let's give it some moment to breathe. I really don't think it's my computer. I just think it might just be Streamlabs. Hang with me, all right? We're not going anywhere. X out of this. Let's just give it a second. Sometimes you just need to take a back seat, all right? But look at the gems on this. This is, it's very, very tasty. Even my cat thinks it's pretty tasteful. He's meowing out and about. All right. I want to see the black one. I don't know if the black one's going to be as nice. I mean, you're pretty much getting the same thing, but you think about the contrast, okay? Look at this. This is kind of like supposed to be black hair. What's it going to look like on the black one? Do you know what I mean? You catch my drift over here? That's why I think the green's the best, like just the best one out of all of them. It's just the best one, hands down. So that green is definitely going to fly. I believe the green is going to also have this might be in white on the green. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be in black or white, but very tasteful. I was not sure which week they were going to release this one at, but it's coming out this week. So another thing I want to just thumbs up over there. And let's go back to the drop list weeks. I wish I knew ahead of time when this was all going to drop. So they're also giving us this steel tea box, which I own one of these in like a blue, I believe. It's just like a little collector's box. Let's let it load over here. But yeah, I appreciate you all rocking with us. I'm not sure why everything's slowing down. Thanks for bearing with us. It's kind of... You're hanging. Appreciate it, man. Just a second here. Okay, so some spin ahead. Okay, we have the sunglasses. Now, I'll be honest. These sunglasses don't really do well on the aftermarket. They just don't do well in general. They're kind of like... And yes, a sunglass company, Luxottica, bought out Supreme. Got my cat over here. But a lot of what they're going to be implementing with their sunglasses isn't going to probably kick in until 2026. If I'm being real. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging. Yeah. I'm just letting it kind of like I'm letting us get back to business. So we got a couple shades. I think the best shades are probably going to be these in black. They did do a green one last summer, which was kind of like a translucent. I ended up picking up the green ones last year, summertime. But when I put it on, it was kind of like translucent. So I went back into the store and I was like, yo, can I just switch this out for the black one instead? So we did end up just getting the black ones instead. And I think the black one's just a lot more tasteful. All right. But I don't recommend anybody really going for the shades, especially with all this other stuff. So if you take AOI out of the equation here, it's kind of a boring week. Take AOI and the pinup girl out of the equation, and it's kind of a boring week. All right. I mean, yes, these are nice. I know, Luke, you were talking about these in the snakeskin leather. That's the mover. That snakeskin leather is the move for sure. This is going to fly, especially in that smaller size for sure. Now, the black one, they typically release this almost every season, but the snakeskin, I haven't seen that yet. So I can see why that's good because they haven't really done it. I'm aware of it. We're getting these as well. I won't see that release. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I know they did some shorts in this, I think, too. this season. Not the biggest fan, honestly. Yeah, these three as well. Red, but I think red one. All right, so this kind of want. I think these ads totally slow my stream down. All right, but I appreciate for who's still here. I appreciate you hanging. I know it's been a little bit of a slow down stream. That's not my intention, considering I just got a new laptop. Like, this shouldn't be happening. What's going on? But yeah, and then we also do happen to have these wash tees as well. All right. I do like this Tiffany color. That's nice for sure. You can mix and match that with a lot of different things. But they typically, I believe they release something like this every season. So nothing really to like write home about. That's for sure. So, and then we also do happen to have these satin track. I don't know about satin tracks. I'm really just not a fan of like the waves here, so I'm not even going to bother clicking into it. And then these wash camos, I don't know. I don't know about this. I think out of all of them, like the middle one's probably the best one. This is a standout color, this like coral. But I don't know. I'm just thinking like on body. And I know snow camo is obviously popular with the opening of the Miami store, but I think out of all of these, the middle piece is the best one for sure. It's just probably the easiest to mix and match with other stuff. So yeah, so there's that. Anyway, we're gonna X out of that. And then we also have satin. It's rare that I'll pick up something with satin. I feel like satin's one of those things you could pull the off. It's really hard to you can be careful or anything kind of off. So it's just a lot more to obtain. Okay. But yeah, I mean, guys, it's kind of like it's an exciting week, but it's also underwhelming with the amount of hyped items. Like there's not really a lot of everything for everyone. Because this jacket isn't for everyone. It's very loud, it's very crazy and obnoxious. I love it. It's right up my alley. It's definitely like I've been talking about this jacket. My friend's like, "Bro, will you stop talking about the damn jacket? Like just stop talking about it, I can't, not until it drops, I feel like, hey, maybe we'll all shut up about the jacket after this week. Right? Dude, I don't know why it's so laggy, bro. I'm sorry. My apologies. It really shouldn't be laggy. It's looking a little bit more... Yeah, it's looking like better on my end. Yeah, but anyway, hey, yo, I appreciate you for stopping on by. I just wanted to touch on the release. Sorry for anybody that's watching on the replay where it's laggy. Not my intention. I think it has to do with something on Streamlabs because that's what I'm using as my chosen vendor here. But my laptop should be up to speed, so I'm really not too sure exactly what's happening over there. But yeah. With that being said, let me just X out of this. I really wonder what's slowing things down. Okay, but I'm gonna continue on. We're just gonna go through the shots over here. There's 44 photos of the shades. Okay, we're just gonna go through them. Actually, the blue ones, they're not too bad. I just know that Supreme's probably going to be taxing on them. And then this one got snow camo. Okay. Snow camo in that same. And then these, I don't know about those. I think the black one's probably the best one. These purple are not bad. These purple are not bad at all. I'm just going to say it. They're definitely really out there. I'm not the biggest fan of the 2 dots in the front. I kind of wish that kind of left that out, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, they're pretty out there. This almost looks like you're wearing like a TV, And then this, what does this say? Oh, it says FU. That's so crazy. All right, these go hard. Look at that. These go hard. Yeah, these go hard for sure. In like that gold. Yeah, but yeah, okay. And then these ones, you got some pink ones over here. Uh, so yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know. So you got this, you got this camo, and you got the other, like, we got it in black, and then what, the snow camo too. Okay, and then that's what we got. I don't know, out of all these, I think the blue's probably the move, if I'm being real. And, is that it? It just says archive. Okay. That's weird. I thought we were gonna go through all of them. Oh no, we're not done yet. Okay, and then these. Oh, and these are bones? Okay, hey, these went up a notch in my book. I was eyeing some shades that had some bones on the side. So I don't know if they ripped this off, that brand. Cutler and Gross is the brand. Yeah, that I've been eyeing. It's on my list for sure. But they also do happen to have some bone like bone stuff. Yeah, you think about it, like what, like everything, like what's, I think the black's probably the move on this one because you can see the bones a lot better. Or the purple. I think maybe the purple actually. This one's just a little rinky dink. This looks like something that you could get on like at the side streets, basically. Some, I don't know, it just doesn't really like it doesn't look like something super premium, you know. It doesn't look like a Cartier or whatever, right? But it does look like they ripped off some stuff. Like this does look like something that they've ripped off, like Cartier. You know, I don't know. It's funny. It's interesting. Not a fan of these. These ones aren't bad at all. These actually, I could see this one selling out. I'm gonna be real. I did not know it had the FU on the side. This is actually, I'm gonna say it. This is a sleeper item. These FU gold ones. I don't even know which color is the best one. The problem with black, I know black probably you're thinking like, oh, black's the move. When this starts to chip, it's going to look so bad. It's just going to look so bad. So I'd probably say, I think gold is the move. I think gold's the move for sure. Silver's not bad, but here's the thing. Every time I look at shades, I always try to look at the tint. So, okay, look at the tint, okay? You got this nice brown hint over here, okay? Very chef's kiss, very, very nice. This one, I don't know. You got a little bit of some brown and then it goes into some green. You got the gradient going on here, okay? I don't know if I'm the biggest, I don't know if my eyeballs are the biggest fan of looking out of this. I'm just being real, okay? Because, again, looks matter. I mean, what you're looking at matters, right? So, you know, and then the black one too. I like the lenses on this, but overall, once this starts to chip, I don't really know. I don't really know. So again, out of all of these, the first one's the move. First one's the move. But again, I have no idea what the pricing on this is going to be. If it's anything over like $200, I'd probably pass. And then these, they typically release these type of shades every single, not season, every single spring, summer. So they're doing this one. I'm not the biggest fan of this pattern, just being real. Black, can't go wrong. You do happen to have that Supreme branding on the inside and on the outside. I do own these, but they also released this last season. So it's interesting they're giving it back to us again. At first, I wasn't the biggest fan of the 4 dots because you got the 4 dots going on. But from the front, it doesn't look too bad. You know, you're just looking at that. And then this is the translucent pink where they did the green last season with Tyler. But yeah, black's the move on this one specifically. And that pretty much concludes the sunglasses, guys. So, you know, that is... let me just kind of get back to Supreme Community. But yeah, but I appreciate you guys rocking me today. Now, I do want to touch on, we're going to finish off the stream. Again, if anybody has any specific questions or there's anything I didn't get to answer, please let me know. We are going to go into left to drop, okay? Because there's still some items that are left to drop. They're actually giving us the boat shirt next. I don't know if it's next week, but there's still a couple items here. So I could see 2 more weeks. Why is this still here? They already dropped all that. Is that kind of weird? Why is this left to drop? They already gave us this. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys, all right? So they're going to give us this. This. You know, it's the they're going to ever guess. And it's like, man. It's not computer's fault. Maybe the internet be something else. But I appreciate you guys. guys for bearing with me, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, are we back? Crossing fingers. Are we back? All right. So they're going to be giving us this ARC denim coach's jacket. I feel like we've had better ARC logos. The black's probably the best one, considering the fact that it just looks better. Anything dark on dark does not look good. Look at that. This one, I could see this one doing okay. Black's the move on this one for sure, because it definitely pops. Like, look at the red. This is all horrible, horrible. This is okay. Even the pink one is just like, I don't really know about this one. So, I don't know. For me, this is definitely not. It's not really on my radar, if I'm being honest. Most fun out of the pants, the and then both of them, I think you could definitely see the wording better on the board. There we go. Yeah, I like this one. Just better, way better. That's okay. Outside of that, I believe there are releasing too. Yes. Oh, these jeans are great. These are great. It's the F-It Stitch Loose Fit jean. All right. And all right, and yeah, I think I'm almost probably the move here. I like it's got like the no far. That's this one for sure. I a lot more made this. Let me put a lot of this one for more a better, right? And just waiting for the Swiss knife. The red is it's so stuff left. Probably like this week is probably one of the biggest weeks. You know, let me just X out it. And yeah, I appreciate. Whoever's still here rocking with me, I appreciate you guys, you know, standing the test of time and rocking with us. I just, I didn't even get to finish going through the book. I didn't even finish getting to go through the book. So, whoever's still watching, let me just actually finish going through the book. All right. So, yes, premier item. Oh, premier item, right? There you go. Okay. Man, look at all those stars on the back. You can actually see the stars kind of from the front or from the side. That's great. So all that's going to illuminate. And there you go. This obviously already released. This is really nice. This is very Travis Scott like, the full leather vest. Okay, moving along over here. There we go. Premier piece. Still can't believe it. Still can't believe we hit on that. That's crazy. I thought that this was going to be very, very hard to hit. And bots failed that week, which is crazy. The red one is actually really nice as well. All right, keeping it moving over here. I remember, I think this dropped first week too. That too. Remember these? But again, nothing really like we needed this, you know what I mean? So we're gonna keep it moving. And then this, we're still waiting for this to drop. But looking at the, you know, the quality, looks good. Looks good overall. This one, I remember this releasing as well. I think they did another better color. I'm really trying to remember. I think it was a black one. I was not a fan of how they did the pockets. It just looks kind of weird with your hands in the pockets over there, considering like the cut. It just looks a little weird. And then there, we're also waiting for this one too. This was a really solid color. This one, really, really solid color. I believe they call this, it's called the Sea Island. Pretty cool name. And then he's wearing the Last Supper belt as well, which obviously we all know did pretty well in aftermarket. This one was sitting on the site for quite some time. This guy always kills the product photos. I keep forgetting this dude's name. This guy always driving a motorcycle. I follow him on Instagram, but this guy's awesome for sure. He definitely always kills the photos. He does such a good job. This guy too. This is the guy who actually wears the AOI jacket. And then there we go. We also do happen to have this, which I know Luke Darnell picked up, which is awesome. This one was sick too. This release, I believe, last week or last week. I was never really a fan of this one, just the wording, but, you know, is what it is. You know, if you like it, rock it. This was awesome. One of my favorite pieces this season, for sure. This one, hella awesome. Not so much flipped around this way, but definitely like this.